back. In this video, we're going to be doing part 2 of our enemy tutorial. And the last one we left off with creating the enemy, making it patrol between 2 points, and also damaging the player. In this one, we're going to create a little stomp box for it so that when the player jumps on it, it dies. We're gonna adjust the player control script so that the player doesn't take damage when while jumping on the enemy. And then we're also going to create a couple of pickups and make those work as well. Item drops. That way when the enemy dies, he drops an item depending on which one you decide to put in there, and then the item will be able to be picked up by the player and used. So let's dive right in. First thing we're going to do is work on our enemy. So let's go ahead and click on our enemy. Let's go ahead and right click on it. We're going to create an empty game object, and we're going to just name this stomp box. You'll notice that in between I've already made my enemy a prefab. Definitely want to do that. I probably should have named it patrolling enemy since that's what it's doing. But for now, I mean, it's going to work because I don't know if I'm going to put any other enemies in there. Maybe a boss character later on. We'll see. Alright, but it won't be in this video. For our stomp box, we need to add a box collider 2D. We need to turn that into a trigger. Let's go ahead and edit that a little bit. Whoops, where'd it go? Edit that a little bit. Bring these points down so it looks like the player will be jumping on top of the enemy. Now, let's go ahead and get into scripting. In our scripts folder, we're going to right click, create mono behavior script. Go ahead and name this enemy killable. And let's go back because it likes to switch things on me like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to start coding. And we'll create some variables. No, we won't. I mean, we could. Nah. We'll create the variables in a minute. Let's get the enemy dying first, right? So we don't need any of this nonsense in the starter update. What we do need though is an on trigger enter 2D. Change this to other because that's just my preference and that's what I do. Then we're going to do some comparisons. So if other dot compare tag is the player, oops, not there. Well, then we're gonna destroy what are we going to destroy? We're going to destroy the transform.parent.game object. That's what we're going to do. Alright. Now, just like this, if we leave it, let me show you what it does. When the player hits it, it's going to take damage itself. That's why we need to modify the player. But I'll kind of show you what it does. Oh. Well, now it's not taking damage for some reason. Or why is it not destroying? Oh, because I didn't it might help if we attach the script. Alright, let's go ahead and take that over there. Now I'll show you what it does. Alright, so the player takes damage, right? I had 4 because I collected a cherry down in the beginning, and then I took damage from the enemy when I killed it. If we go into our script and into the player control script though, we can adjust that and modify that. What we're going to do is we're going to create a private boolean we'll just call it just stomped mud hole in the enemy. No, we just stomped the enemy. We'll set it to false for now. We need to create a couple of things. So let's come down here. Where's my take damage? I'm gonna do it all kind of near that area. All right, right here in between void jump and void take damage. What I want to do is I'm gonna first create a method we're gonna call reset stomp immunity, and it's gonna say just stomped is equal to false. So that's gonna reset everything once we trigger this next one, which is gonna be called it's gonna be a public, it's gonna be void, it's gonna be just stomped enemy. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna set just stomped enemy to true, and we're gonna invoke name of reset stomp immunity, and we're gonna tell it to invoke it in 0.5 frames. Sorry, that was a hiccup. All right, so now that we got that going, the next thing we need to do is here in our take damage, all we're gonna do in this is next to if is invincible, we're gonna say or with these two bars, right? Just to, that's the button just to the right of the right curly bracket or the closing curly bracket, just stomped enemy. Right? So now in our killable enemy, what we need to do is if other in here right above destroy, we need to say player control player is equal to get component player control, and we're gonna say player dot just stomped enemy, and we're gonna run that code. So now when we do it, what should happen is the player does not get hurt. So let's see if that works. Man, even with the door closed, them dogs are loud. Any of you guys got dogs? Anybody want some dogs? Just kidding. Alright, that did not work. Why? It's not even killing the enemy. Why is it not killing the enemy? That's weird. Alright, that's there. What are you saying here? Alright. You don't like this line. Why don't you like this line? Oh, you know what? If player is not equal to, no, let's try this. Alright, that's not what I was looking for. And we're also forgetting that. Where's the player controller? There it is. That's all good. Alright, so a couple of things that let's see. I definitely forgot the other .get component player controller. So it was looking for the player control on this enemy object. So that's why it wasn't killing anything. And then just to be on the safe side, I ran a check. I put a check in there to make sure that it does have that, and it runs the player just stomped method. So let's try that and see if that works. Alright. Because those errors, it was looking for the player controller on the enemy, and it couldn't find it because I typed it wrong initially. And there we go. So no damage taken. Still got 4 health, right? I don't know why I'm pointing to it with my finger, but there we go. Alright, let's see, 10 minutes in, and we still got a couple more things. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click on our enemy. Since that works, we're going to go into overrides and apply all, so that the stomp box is there in the prefab. Let's create our death effect. So we're going to create an empty game object, and we're going to call it death effect. And in our project window, in the items and VFX, there's this enemy death. There's a few of them, but I'm looking at enemy dash death 1, or enemy dash death, right? It has all these sprites right here in the sprites folder. I'm going to go ahead and select them all and get them set up. They should all be 16 pixels per unit. Their point mode should be, our filter mode should be point. And I'm going to drag this first one up here. Now, what I'm going to do is click on it. Let's go ahead and zero all that out, because I want it to make sure that it appears where it needs to be. Right? There we go. Alright. Alright, we're good. Alright. On with the enemy dash death dash 1 selected, we're gonna move this project up. We're gonna click on the animation, and we're gonna create an animation. In our assets animations folder, I'm gonna go ahead and create a folder called death effect, because there are more than one death effect, and I may end up using the other one later on. And we're just gonna call this enemy. We'll say base enemy. There. That way, I know that that's the just regular generic enemy death effect. Right? Not even right effect. Just to make sure I don't get confused. So I'm going to take all of these, and I'm going to put them, I'm going to start with just like 5 frames apart and seeing how that looks. Alright, so now we can go ahead and just press play and take a look at it. Doesn't look like it's too fast, so that looks fine for me. What I am going to do though is go ahead and make this. Let's bring this back down. Let's see. Animator is made, because once you create the animation, it should add an animator, so always double check to make sure that it did. But I'm going to make this death effect a prefab, so let's go to our prefabs folder, drag that in. So let's see, why is it saying it's not valid? It is valid, it's right there. So yeah, but yeah, that's good. Alright, we're gonna run with it, and if it doesn't work, then we'll figure out why. Just per usual. Let's go to our stomp box and our enemy killable script. So in our enemy killable script, what we're gonna add in next is a variable public game object death effect. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and comment it, but I'm gonna add in the game object item drop for now as well. Private float lifetime equals 0.3 f. Now, what we need to do is we're gonna run a check, make sure that death effect isn't equal to null, right? Equal to null. And then we're gonna say game object with a capital G named effect is gonna be instantiated using the death effect at the transform position of the enemy. quaternion identity there. And then underneath that, we're gonna say destroy the effect once the lifetime has passed. Alright, now save that. Let that go. Now, in stomp box, you'll see now that has this death effect. Let's go to our prefabs, throw in death effect there. We're gonna go ahead and delete this guy from our scene, and let's give it another go. And there it is, it played it. It was a little fast. It was a little fast. So we can adjust that here. Let's see. If you hold Alt and you scroll back on the scroll wheel, it will zoom out. So let's go ahead. Stop it. There we go. 8 seconds. We'll just go 8 seconds. Or 8 frames, sorry. Not seconds, 8 frames. Alright. Now let's see. Alright, definitely looked better. I just gotta move away from it. Make sure everything is good. 24, 32, 40, 48. Yep, everything is good and spaced out properly. Just running through one more time. I want to make sure, because I kind of, it does show it. It still looks a little on the fast side, but I'm fine with it. For now, for what we need, that's good. All right. So we got that working. Let's go ahead and create our item drop, shall we? So, right click, create an empty object. We'll name it, we're going to create 2 of them, item drop. This one's going to be cherry. I'll go ahead and duplicate that with Control D and rename this one, whoops, gem. And in our project folder, we're going to go to our items and VFX. We're going to go to Sonyland items, sprites. We're going to take the gem, drop that under gem, drop that under gem. We're going to take the cherry and drop that under cherry. Make sure everything is zeroed out. There we go. Alright. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to create an A script. Alright, there we go. Proper grammar. Right click, create in our scripts folder a mono behavior script, and we're gonna name it item drop. Go ahead and open that guy up. And let's get to coding. So we're going to add a float, which is a pickup delay equals 0.3f, right? Let's see, what do I want to do? We'll add this spawn time. It's still gonna spawn instantly, but this is gonna be used to help us with the pickup delay, so the player doesn't pick it up as soon as the enemy dies. That way the player can actually see what it is. We are gonna need a couple of public booleans. So bool is cherry, public bool is gem, the public integer for the gem score, because we need to keep track of that. public integer health amount, because we're going to need that. And here in the start function, what we're going to do is we're going to say spawn time is equal to time dot time. Very simple, right? Making it equal to whatever the time is that's going. So now we don't need the update, so we can get rid of that. But what we do need is a void. Oh, that reminds me, I did not add the circle collider to the object, so we will need to fix that in a minute. If we're going to say here is the time dot time is less than the spawn time, which is equal to time dot time plus the pickup delay, right? Then return. That's going to prevent the player from picking it up instantly. It's going to give it a little bit of time for the player to see what the item is that dropped. We are going to compare the tag again and make sure that it is the player. That way enemies can't pick it up. And we're going to say if is cherry, then now from what we can do is actually, if you have your health pickup open, you can actually just take and take and copy all this, paste it here, and instead of heal amount, what we can do is type in health amount, just like that, and that'll make sure that the player heals itself. We'll test it just to show you guys that it works. I say will, I promise I'm only one person, I'm not crazy. Alright, so, and then we're gonna say if is gem, alright, and we're gonna say game manager dot instance dot add score. We're gonna say gem score, and then all the way down here, let's see, make sure we're gonna say destroy game object. Now I'm going to let that save and let that compile. We do need to add I want to add a circle collider to it and make it a trigger. Add a circle collider to the gem, make it a trigger, and to both of these we need to add the item drop. This one is a gem, the score is going to be 100. This one's going to be a cherry, and it's going to heal you 1. Alright, now we can make both of these prefabs, so let's drop them in our prefabs folder, remove them from our scene. Let's go to our stomp box and open our killable enemy, and what we need to do is we're going to uncomment this out. See, we're at 24 minutes, so almost done, folks, almost done. And what we're going to say is if item drop is not equal to null, then we're going to instantiate the item drop at the position, and we're gonna add that to vector3 dot up times 0.5f. That way it's up in the air a little bit above the player, and then returning dot identity. Alright, so when we come over here, everything should compile, and we should see it right there. There it is. So we'll try it first with the item drop cherry, and let's go and see what happens. Alright, so I'm not gonna pick that one up because I want to see. Alright, there it is, and we pick it up and it works. It didn't really put it up that high above the player, but at least the 0.3F was enough time for it for the pickup delay. The 3 frames was enough so that it didn't disappear or destroy itself when the player was sitting on top of it, so that's good. Alright, now we're going to try it one more time. We're going to switch it out with the gem. Go ahead and collect our stuff and jump on the guy, and there it is, and you see that the score increased to 300. So there you go, folks. Everything's working, and we got our first enemy created. We got it within the 2 videos. We got our first enemy created, first enemy that can be killed. The enemy can hurt the player. It drops items, and those items either add life with the cherries or add scores with the gems. We also made it so it doesn't damage the player in the process, so that's a plus also. Not sure what I'm going to do in the next video. I know we still need to add a kill box, because if I drop it doesn't kill the player, right? So we might make a more advanced health system, and so that or we might just automatically restart, because I was thinking about doing just the lives thing, right? But once the cherries are gone, it should game over or restart the level or remove lives. But maybe the cherries will be lives, and then in the end it'll just be a game over, like a platformer roguelite combo thing. I don't know, we'll see. But until then, keep learning, keep building. I'll see you in the next video.